hear the voice of reason.
Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I am your host, Voice of Reason, and I appreciate you joining me. First and foremost, happy Father's Day to all the present dads. Keyword here is present. Sometimes I go a little religious, just a little bit, but I say that to say, even if you're newly present, so whatever hiccups or whatever reasons you weren't in your child's life prior, if you're making a good effort to be there now, I still salute you, because shit happens sometimes. Do I condone it? No. A child is not asked to be here. So from the second that child is born to the second that child takes his last breath, if you are alive as the parent, your job never ends completely. That's all I got for that. Enjoy. I hope you got flowers, some type of appreciation or shout out if you've been doing the damn thing from somewhere genuine. Okay. Sometimes those fallouts help you see what people are really holding in. If people aren't being real with you, that's when they'll come out. That's open and shut right there. So there are people in your life that just exist. There's people that's just around. There's people that need your energy. And that's tricky, because the ones that need your energy, some can be genuine in that need, and some can be malicious. So that's why smaller circles are favored the older we get. You notice, like 10, 20 years past, that group is not the same in a lot of cases. The younger you are, I feel like you may have 20, 30 people you hang out with, you cool with. So you don't really analyze or determine at that point who's the real friends and who's just cool. But the older you get, you start to process of elimination. And you hope that within that eliminating, whoever survives are the genuine ones. But even in that elimination, the ones who remain can still be in question. And it's just hard to sometimes pick apart until shit really goes left. When things go left, you start to see. So going back to this with fallouts, disagreements, etc., pay attention to people's verbiage, how they talking to you. So if you notice the tone, just keep a mental note, like, wow, okay, all right. Sometimes jokes ain't jokes, if they try to say it in a joking way, kind of like capitalize on your mistake or your error or whatever got you feeling bummed out. You know what I mean? And notice little comments come your way. If people try to turn ill situations and make it look like you're like a hero in that ill situation, or like you the man in that situation, pay attention to that. Is that genuine, or is that cover up? You know what I mean? It's a lot. And it's sad that you got to be on this point. You got to be this on point with people that you deem friends, family, etc. So it's real nasty work out there with this. But pay attention and you'll see. You know what I mean? You'll see what I'm talking about. But my intelligent mind wants to almost tell you to self-sabotage a situation for a fallout just to see. But damn, that's being petty, especially the older you get. You're supposed to be able to just tell and go, yeah, I'm good. I know where they're at with it. I know how I'm approaching them. Correct. Okay. You can't be nasty and needy, women more than men, but I don't have that percentage too much higher. So 60-40. People find themselves in situations, and these words like entitlement and privilege may kick in. And this is probably why I say women more than men. People find themselves in situations and feel like people owe them, or they should just get help and get saved from their situation. Some things are unfortunate, and sometimes shit just happens, and you may have a genuine person or two in your corner that you can really hit up for help. But you must realize, men and women, it's going to be hard for women, a lot of women to grasp this, but I hope some of you can. Nobody owes you. Overall, I don't care what your story is. I don't care how many people you looked out for. I don't care if you got kids and the daddy not around. I'm sorry to really make it seem this insensitive, but I don't care, and nobody cares. Nobody don't owe you. Handle your shit. Everybody needs help time to time. I'm not saying that this is a perfect world, 24/7, 365. You got it. You're gonna need help somewhere sometimes. I get it. We all do. But no one owes you, and you can't be nasty about it because you may be thinking someone owes you. You gotta understand what you do. You can't get back time, and you can't get back the shit you did with your time for people. So if you've done good in this world, no matter how little it is or how big, you can't leverage that and be stinking nasty because you did and now you need and no one's there. You just got. And hopefully blessing and prayer get you some help if there's no one you can really turn to for real. But it's just not going to work out for you. And even though, I try to lean in more, there's more women like this, just because of the privilege and the entitlement. I'm talking to the fellas too. It's bad because you're just going to stress yourself out more, become more bitter, more nasty, more dark. Because if you're genuine about it and you don't get the help, you think being nasty is going to get the help? You're just going to stress more. If you've done for, it's simple. If you've done for people and they're not returning it, you just know what it is. Easier said than done, but you might as well move on quicker than later. To sit here stressing on it, what you going to spin the block, harass them, get into arguments with people, become even more dark, be even more nastier, whatever. Like, it doesn't really help you. It doesn't help you. I know it's tough. Shout out Straw. I wasn't gonna really talk on it. I'm not really gonna talk on it in case people haven't seen it. But that's a good movie with Taraji. That complements this topic right here. Pretty much, people snapping, losing it after, all the bad has gone bad. Check out Straw. But you just gotta, create your own path. Overcome. Sometimes you gotta create your own path, overcome your own obstacles, get through your own shit, sit in your shit, be by your lonely dolly. And a vision may appear that can help you. The mind is a beautiful thing when used the correct way. You know what I mean? So stop stressing the shit that you can't control, and you can't be nasty and needy. It shouldn't be nasty at all. Stay positive. Stay in the upper spirits. Upper. You live longer. Stress is a killer. And you're trying to live. So try not to stress shit. Most men's confidence is in their finances. Let that marinate for a sec. That is a fact. Damn, I hate that we really do rely on that. I won't blame women entirely for this. Like they do have something to do with this. Their hand is in this. But I think it started from us to begin with. We know that we're supposed to be providers, and providing don't always mean for someone else. You got to provide for yourself. Let me tell you one. I feel a little bad with this mentality I have. So, for example, if you see a homeless person in the street begging for money, let's say you ever gave or you give, what's more likely to get your bread? A homeless woman or a homeless man? For me, I feel like I gave more money and helped out more women, homeless women, than men. Because we kind of look at, as a man, I look at the men like, yo, there's something you can be doing. There's something else you can be doing. Shit get rough. Shit get thick. So I'm of an age, right? Over the 40s. I've been unemployed in life. It got dark. I don't think I ever hit the streets and begged though. Fuck that. I know I never hit the streets and begged. But it's modest shit. I don't think. I know I never hit the streets and begged. Do I want to sit here and really trash people for doing that and really kick them while they down? No. You do what you do. I'm just saying, when it comes to men, I know, if they got certain physical defects that prevent them from finding another way. I don't know, man. I just feel like as a man, there's pressure, and it's not always good. It doesn't always feel good. There's pressure, though, to perform. There's pressure to perform. And so when the confidence is in the finances, is because if the pressure is to perform, we ain't performing for free. You feel me? There's something that we should be doing that equals dollars. You can sit there and then, I know social media, and this is where the women come in, that don't make it feel good. When you do bust your ass and it's for, paycheck to paycheck, barely making it. And then you watch TV or social media and these guys have done their thing and they well off. And what they get for that? Praise from women. Extra attention from women. Let's not call it praise. And if you ask the average man if he had 3 wishes, finances out the ass, rich, wealthy, healthy kids, and a bad wifey. A bad wifey, right? The finances itself can have other subtopics in it, like the house, the car, whatever. But I'm just saying the 3 wishes, if they were granted, would be to be wealthy, healthy kids, and a fine lady, right? So they feel like the confidence in their finances is because the finances is attached to that fine lady. Finances, fine lady. When in actuality, there's something later in here that will really show you how you should think, guys. But nonetheless, I'm not truly against this. It's just a thing. It really is. Like if you have conversation amongst your fellow guys, you could tell that. You know what I mean? Now you could control it where it's not like a setback if your finances aren't where you want them to be. You still hold on to confidence no matter what. But I know a lot of men, it's sad to watch this. Men will feel more confident being rich than healthy. Like the gym thing. Guys are muscular, 0 body fat, 5% body fat. You know what I mean? Looking amazing. Women are gawking. If his bread ain't right, sad to say, that might hurt more Being looking good, but the bread not right. Versus a motherfucker who finances his diesel, but he ain't. His confidence is, yo, go to the spot, go to a lounge, club, whatever, bottles, VIP section. Peep the nigga that ain't in shape. Nigga fucking obese with bread. Then peep homeboy at the bar. He ain't got a section. 10% body fat. Who confidence you think is? Now, I would hope to be wrong. I want to be wrong. I know ladies don't want no broke man, though. That nigga could have zero body fat. Yo, he could go to the doctor and the doctor could tell that woman, your man is healthy. You'll have a healthy relationship if y'all work out, because he's going to live 60 plus more years. You could take that same lady and take that rich, obese dude and say, yo, doc, the doc say, yo, if he don't change his diet and fix this, you got 10 years. I'm sorry. I feel like most women would be like, taking the rich with the 10 years, because after he's gone, I could get that bread maybe. Sorry, it's nasty work. Not everybody, but come on, let's be real. That healthy nigga that lives 60 plus years, if he ain't got $1 million, or at least decent finances, he's not attractive long term. It's just, that's what it is. And it leads me into my next joint. Women call out. There's a woman that, I don't know. I'm capped because I never timestamp people. I'm just taking what I heard from online. Women calls out women who leaves their hardworking man because they can't afford their lifestyle. Didn't I just say this in another way? So shout out to her for calling out women, but what the fuck is that gonna do? That ain't gonna change shit. Well, you think you're gonna change a woman? A woman's gonna watch that and laugh. Because it's very rare people change because they're called out. You change because you want to, or you figure it's time to. I don't think calling out, especially sorry to say, women, but you want me to tell you. To be fair, men and women, something detrimental happens to really change somebody. Like on the spot like that, or like immediate. You know, getting called out, man, no woman. You know, a man could call out men for cheating. Cheating ain't gonna stop just because of that. The same thing here. Women are gonna continue to be on the fuckery they on. So that was cute for a woman to say, you know, men work hard. You gotta really check yourself. If you got a hardworking man and everything is, you know, as healthy as it could be, mentally, emotionally, etc. Work through it. Work through whatever their demons are that's telling them or talking to them that they should leave. You know, be mature about it. But if they're not there and their thing is, I want a lifestyle, I need someone that can afford it. Can't really be mad. Easier said than done. If time is wasted before they realize, or, you know, they play it for as long as they can to see. And then when they see that they can no longer see the vision, they can just say, hasta luego. That shit is crazy, but these are things in life that happens that we have no control over. So, you know, I could sit here again and continue to say kudos to the woman who called out the women for leaving a hardworking man. But those women that listen to you are going to laugh. They're going to chuckle and scroll left, right, up, down, whatever. So I'm not saying you shouldn't have done that. I'm saying it ain't making a difference unless you just did that to get it off your chest, or to have good intentions that it would reach some women to make them rethink their thoughts. But you know what? I'm rambling. Said woman who did this. We don't even want the woman that has to get called out and checked on shit like this, because if that's how they was thinking to begin with, we don't want them, because there's going to be other things that pop off that show us that they not the one. So again, it starts from them wanting to change themselves. Not because somebody checked them, not because somebody called them out, and it may take something detrimental for them to see the light. So, good try though. No doubt. Shout out to you. Men will flirt with beauty, but marry behavior. I feel this is so real. The problem here is, though, beauty is so contagious. I'm going to use the word contagious. How long does flirting last before they marry their behavior? And the hard job that men have is to know when they're done. Know when they're washed clean of the contagious beauty and now ready to say, I'll marry behavior and stay true to that. I sound like an angel. I'm not an angel. Shit has happened, I know. Nobody's perfect. We all got a past. We all got shit, right? But you try to be better. The more time on this earth, you try to get it right or try to get it peacefully right, because thinking right and doing right brings peace. If you like turmoil and toxic shit forever, then fucking keep doing what you're doing. So it's not about impressing people and, because it's the right thing sometimes. And, it's, I want to look good. I don't give a fuck how I look. It's about peace, though. So use your brain the right way and peace will come, thinking, let me do things the right way. Right peace. If you don't want peace, keep doing what you're doing. Because there's no way you spend the rest of your life trying to do you any kind of way and think it's going to be peaceful too, all the time. Your gift of gab game could never fall off. You better know how to talk your way out of shit forever. So do you. There's no judgment here. I'm just saying, let's go back. Your beauty, we love it, right? Our eyes get rewarded sometimes. Like, damn, all day, every day. And nowadays, it ain't even rare. Like, products, surgery, all these enhancements. It don't have to actually be surgeries when I say enhancement. Just women are doing their research more, buying better makeup products, buying better weaves, buying better lashes. Listen, do y'all. But it's just making this beauty thing more challenging and more contagious, because now men have to ask, is this natural beauty we're flirting with or just beauty overall? And definitely shape and size plays into that beauty as well. So it's like overwhelmingly, in a good way, flooded. It's flooded. And we're not even going to get into sexual preferences here that leans in more in men's favor. You know what I mean? So it's just, you got to strategize. You know what I mean? Like, damn, there's a lot of this. But go back to that peace and that time to just, especially like on the ground. Like sometimes it's not even about aging. It's just like, if you have a goal, if you're trying to obtain wealth to leave for your family, your kids, and you just want peaceful comfort that way of survival, not just peace in relationships, peace in survival. I don't want to struggle check to check. I don't want to worry if I could pay the bills this month. So that also requires locking in. And to lock in, you can't be, I don't know how you could fit flirting with beauty all the time. Like, let's just be real. Like, you got that kind of time where you trying to bust ass to be well off, and then you trying to bust ass to bust nuts. Like, life is a balance, right? The same thing with your health, with what you eat, what you choose to eat, your diet. You have your cheat day Fridays, you eat pizza, burgers, or whatever. But then the most of the time, you trying to be on your health vibe, right? So life is balance. I get it. But like, this balance is toxic. It's just no room. I don't see how, unless you got your own business and the bread you making, you ain't actually working. Because they say the best bread is when you're not working. The money earned is when you're not working for it and it's just earning. Then fine, that's like a different thing. But that's me rambling on about it. But in period, in general, you going to get to this point. It ain't no judgment again. It's not always an age thing. Some people could at 30 go, yeah, you know what? I want to build this legacy. So let me marry this behavior right here. Chill out and build this legacy. Some 40, some 50, 20. It could happen anywhere. You know what I mean? And it's dope when it happens because you locking in. And again, I don't feel you can juggle both and be super successful. It's like one is in the way of the other. And people got to understand. And it's sometimes signs will make you get help. Like you doing your thing work-wise, grind-wise, and all that flirting with beauty. The beauty gonna lack the attention and step off. Especially if they don't see the vision. You don't give them enough to go off of. So they're gonna step off. Fellas, there's gonna be a lot of lost beauties. Just know, there's gonna be a lot of lost beauties. But if you're with behavior, to marry behavior should have the patience. It's a huge sign. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't got that, what do you got? I mean, because sad to say, I get at you ladies a little bit. It's funny how you don't have patience for that, right? A man on the ground all the time. But if it was you would understand. The difference is, here it is. I'll close out with this. The difference is, no judgment again. A woman on her grind like that will just be like, I don't got no time for no man, period. And won't flirt probably next to none or make it seem that way, right? But they upset that a man can't lock in that same way. Like if he on his grind and it's all about that right now, don't entertain no women. But that's like asking the dog not to wag his tail. Like what? Like a man, hello, he ain't gonna be able to not do nothing. I mean, he could take a break, like when he first get his plan started, so he may not be out there, but he's gonna chase, he's gonna flirt. A man and a woman is different when it comes to that. You know what I mean? It's almost even a compliment to say women should shut the men's them down when they on their grind because, unless they just trying to have fun, nothing committed. They just want to bust theirs too, which happens today. There's women who just want to bust one, then bust one and get back to the grind. But I promise you, no man really going to step off like that the same way that women do. If a woman is on her grind and she really don't have time for the man, but she got time to bust that nut, he bust that nut, he go about his day. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying if a woman has no time for being in a relationship, but she hits dudes up whenever just to get some, that guy, I don't got that guy complaining like that. Not like that. Unless he see potential in her behavior and now he may press her because of that. But sometimes men just want to bust a nut too. So he like, yo, as long as she hit me up once a week, once every other week, I'm good. But vice versa, that man on a grind, he can't be serious or don't want to be right now. The chick's that's going to get old. And for men, it might get old too. But for women, I feel like it gets older quicker. Always a shot clock. Women got more shot clocks than men. I feel that way strongly. You know what I'm saying? And, that's why these discussions should be had. And nobody really gets in their feelings about it. Because it was spoken from the door. Even though sometimes that don't always pan out. Because it could be talked from the door and shit still go left somehow. People just funny, and they change. And they portray that they was one way till they really get in here and see what it really is to get it from the mud. You know what I mean? So that's all well and dandy, I guess you move on. Lesson learned, right? So just know in closing, men will flirt with beauty, but marry behavior. So ladies who sitting there dating for however amount of time, your shot clock, and you see no growth, you see no real, you're not behavior. For him, you're just beauty. You're not behavior for him, you're just beauty. The funny thing is, the treatment should grow. But you can survive off not being behavior, but being beauty for a while. Because when men have interests, if he's pretty stand up, you're still, besides the like time spent, and maybe you could pick out other things because, I don't know it all. I feel like his behavior to you is still almost equal to as if he would marry you. As long as y'all don't got no issues, y'all not bumping heads on things. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean you should like settle for that. Because I know a lot of people, well, today marriage may not be the huge deal it used to be, but the severe commitment definitely. So you want to know if your beauty or behavior, pay attention. It'll show for sure in due time. So thanks for joining me. To the next time, you know my 3 P's: stay positive, stay progressive, and stay pushing. Peace.
I love it, wonder how you be spending your weekends. Real game when you get rid of the pain. Treat it like bleach spill, thought you get rid of the stain. Ha, that's far-fetched, you'll get closer to real. You almost there, how close do you feel? Feeling better. That's some bullshit you went through, but I hope you feeling better. And we out here.